My name's Roland Willson. I'm chief of the West Moberly First Nations, been chief there for 15 years now. They've been drilling oil and gas in northeastern BC for the last 50 years. We haven't seen anything like the footprint that we're seeing with shale gas. Shale gas is unconventional gas. When a shale gas well is being drilled, a lot of people move into the area and there's no privacy anymore. You have trucks running up and down the roads 24 hours a day, the rigs operating 24 hours a day. There's no quiet in the wilderness anymore. There's noise everywhere. They're lighting 24 hours a day. They have a policy, it's called no shadows, so they have to light the whole rig site up. So there's no shadows, no tripping hazards on a rig site. So the animals don't have any peace. When our people want to go out hunting and fishing and being out on the land, typically you don't want to be around industrial development. It's a traditional spiritual process. You take your children out, you teach them a way of life out there. You teach them how to respect the harvest. Ceremonies are performed when you harvest an animal, when you gather plants and medicines and stuff like that. We identified an area called the Farrell Creek area. At the height of their development that they were going, they had over 2,400 people living in camps throughout this area. And this was an area that was, for the past several thousand years, feeding our communities, the Halfway community, Prophet River community, with moose and wildlife. And they're right in the heart of it. So the impact is we've been displaced out of that area. They've turned the best moose habitat in all of British Columbia into an industrial park. We understand that there needs to be gas development. We heat our houses with propane in the community. The people in our community are employed through some of the oil and gas development. We recognize that there is a benefit to having this industry here. Right now, what's proposed in the territory, West Moberly's territory, is we've got a coastal GasLink pipeline for Trans-Canada. We have Prince Rupert, it's called PRGT, it's another pipeline for Trans-Canada. We've got the West Coast Connector, which is a pipeline for Spectra Energy. These three pipelines are 48-inch pipelines. We've not ever seen a 48-inch pipeline constructed in northeastern BC, so this will be a first. But all three of them have been approved. We are hearing numbers in the range between 50 to 80,000 wells need to be drilled in order to fill those pipelines. So we haven't seen the height of the development here. These three pipelines are the pipelines that will facilitate the LNG business in BC. But there is a balance that needs to take place between industrial development, resource extractions, and a promised way of life. In northeastern BC is Treaty 8 territory. There's a historic treaty in place here, and there were conditions put in place on those treaty rights. And when an opportunity like shale gas comes along, they forget about the treaty rights and exploit the natural resource and tend to push the nations off to the side. We are trying to sit down with the province and put together a long-term strategy with them, and they're very resistant to any kind of planning. And in First Nations cultures, planning is the cornerstone of our communities. We have 100-year plans. We've been walking around boots on the ground here in northeastern BC for 10,000 years.